When I was 8, my parents moved into a beautiful Victorian house built in the late 1800s. I loved exploring all the ornate rooms and antique oddities. But one room always terrified me, the attic. It was less an actual attic and more just a closet under the eaves that you reached via a narrow staircase. The door at the top always stood slightly ajar, daring me to enter. Sometimes odd sounds seemed to drift out from the dark gap. I asked my parents what was inside, but they forbid me from going up there, saying the roof was unstable. Their refusal only heightened the attic's allure in my imagination. When home alone, I'd creep up the stairs, heart pounding as I shone a flashlight into the black void. But true fear kept me from crossing the threshold. The attic lurked in my mind over the years like Pandora's box whispering to be opened. By age 15, I was determined to finally explore it. Scouring the house one weekend while my parents were away, I discovered a hidden panel behind some shelves. A tiny rusted key lay inside. With trembling anticipation, I let myself into the attic door it unlocked. I expected musty Christmas decorations or furniture. Instead, a narrow set of steps led up into more darkness. Where did they go? Steeling my nerves, I climbed into the stale blackness until I grasped a handle. The door creaked open into a small empty room. A lone window illuminated sagging wallpaper stained dark in places. Deep scratches marked the warped wood floor. This was no normal attic space. I began searching for clues to the creepy hidden area, but found nothing. Then I noticed the ancient window latch was broken. Pushing it open, a loose board on the exterior landing blocked my exit. Someone had deliberately sealed off this secret room. But why? Suddenly, the attic door below slammed shut, making me cry out. Gripped by terror, I tore at the stuck window frame, desperate for escape. Finally creating a gap, I forced myself out onto the precarious roof landing. The attic door remained locked tight somehow. Spotting a nearby tree, I clung to the rain gutter and climbed down trembling to safety. I had to get my parents to investigate the strange bricked-off space. That evening when they returned, I tried explaining what I'd discovered. But they refused to even examine the attic, dismissing my wild imagination. When I persisted, they forbid me sharply from tampering with locked doors again. Their stonewalling made me uneasy. What were they hiding about the house's past? As I lay awake that night, I heard sounds from inside the attic, a child's muffled cries that froze my blood. The activity continued over the next weeks, crying and scratching within the walls always when I was home alone. Phantom child-sized handprints even appeared on my foggy bedroom mirror once. My younger self would have screamed for my parents. But at 15 I was determined to uncover the truth myself. Clearly something tragic had happened in this house long ago. Researching old records finally revealed a possible dark history. In the 1920s, the couple living there had lost their 12-year-old son under mysterious circumstances. Rumors circulated that the grief-stricken dad had become obsessed with contacting his child's spirit through occult rituals. But no documents confirmed what exactly occurred. I became obsessed with helping this trapped spirit find peace. Late one night when my parents were away, I brought a Ouija board up to the attic door to try communicating with the ghostly child. The planchette immediately slid with urgency to danger before figures started taking shape in the darkness behind me. I leapt down the stairs, nearly tumbling in panic. A cacophony of violent blows and inhuman wails erupted from the attic, like the entire room was thrashing in rage at my intrusion. The explosive poltergeist fury only subsided at sunrise. Clearly, I had angered something volatile and malevolent living in that sealed space. Something inhuman that my parents bizarrely seemed to be complicit in confining, regardless of its violent outbursts. There were dark secrets buried in this house I had only glimpsed the surface of. While searching for more clues, I discovered a hidden button under the staircase banister. Pressing it opened a camouflaged door revealing a tight winding passage descending into darkness. The air wafting up reeked of musty earth. I knew I had to follow where it led. My trembling flashlight revealed crude stone walls and earthy smells. The passage ended at a heavy wooden door etched with strange symbols. Inside, the ritual chamber from my darkest nightmares awaited. Pentagrams, black candles, and occult texts filled the windowless concrete room. Heavy chains and ancient stains marred the center blood-soaked altar. But most chilling was the bolted iron trapdoor built into the floor, barely muffling screams from below. This was no mere ghost haunting the attic. My parents had willingly harbored some form of ancient evil in our home, containing it but also secretly feeding it for their own purposes. All those years living above its prison, oblivious to the horrors committed feet below where I slept. Now that I had stumbled on their secret cult's lair, I was in mortal danger. I had to flee this house of lies before my family returned. I packed only bare essentials, ready to disappear into the night when I heard my parents enter. But as their footsteps approached my room, I realized they already knew. The creature in the attic had undoubtedly warned them psychically of my trespass. Before they could detain me, I smashed my bedroom window and crawled out, sprinting down the dark back streets. I heard my dad's enraged cries as they ran out to search for me. But I managed to hunker out of sight until dawn brought a modicum of safety. I stayed in a crowded diner the next few days, warning two naive friends of mine not to trust my parents if approached. But when the men in white coats arrived for me instead, my heart sank. Of course my family would have me declared insane to cover up the truth. As the ambulance sped away ignoring my pleas, I peered down our street just long enough to glimpse two tall figures watching solemnly from the house porch, my parents. But between them towered a shape far taller and more grotesque in the shadows. Even at this distance, its visage chilled my soul. They raised their arms reverently as if saluting the ancient monstrosity that they exalted. And in that moment, I knew there would be no waking from this nightmare reality. My life would now be lost to a haze of injections and oblivion. All to keep their vile secret buried. But I hope somehow, someday, my frantic warnings may reach empathetic ears. Do not believe the father who charms, the mother who cries, claiming distress for their poor daughter's delusions. For behind their facade skulks the unfathomable evil they so faithfully serve and feed. A truth too terrifying to forget awaits in the darkness. Please, before it is too late, open your eyes to the unthinkable horrors that often fester in plain sight. Monsters that masquerade as nurturers when they are complicit in unspeakable deceptions. And once in their clutches, you will find no mercy. No one who ventures too near the ancient rituals in the sealed black room returns unscathed. They will never let you wake from the nightmare. I write this as my last spark of defiance before the final shroud falls. Soon endless gray days will pass uncounted in windowless rooms. But perhaps these words can redeem my lost life by exposing the evil that consumed it. Please believe me. And let my fate serve as a warning. Some within the home cast the longest shadows. And the greatest danger often lurks behind bedroom doors left open just a crack. waiting patiently for the day your innocent heart calls out to the buried dark. Run far and don't look back, not even in longing. My childhood dwelling stands smiling in welcome. But the only peace found there now is the graves. And its cursed residents' ritual harvest has already begun anew. So flee while still in control of your own fearful steps. For the doors only open inward to that unholy space. But few who enter return unchanged, or ever emerge again to see the light of day.